Hello, and welcome to Dancing in the Daily, a space for change makers and leaders like you to reflect on how we can build beloved community and enjoy our work again, okay? So let's jump right into it. What is the most important way that you can grow as a leader? Well, I believe the most important way to grow as a leader is through reflection, right? So often as leaders, especially when you're working in the social impact sector, right? You're a transformative leader. You want to make an impact. You want to make a change. You want to serve your community. And we have a lot of things to do in the world, okay? And so oftentimes we find ourselves chasing productivity, chasing outputs, focusing so much on outcomes in our actions that we don't actually take the time to pause, be present, and reflect. I saw that in my own practice as a leader, and I see that so often in my peers, right? And for good reason. Again, we care about the work that we do, and we have a lot of work to do in the world, right? Maybe you're an educator, maybe you're a principal, maybe you are a leader in the PTA. You know, we have things that we have to do in the world. We have impacts that we need to make. So I totally understand the need to feel productive and feel like you're moving quickly and you're taking action and you're moving to the next steps. But it is absolutely critical that we actually reflect on our practice as leaders, that we ask ourselves questions to really understand the quality of the work that we're doing, not simply the quantity of the work that we're doing. So it's important that you're curious as a leader, that you're being curious about your journey, that you're pausing and thinking about experiences as a leader, that you're thinking about your actions and your practices. Who are you as a leader, and how are you showing up day by day, moment by moment, action by action, word by word? So we know that growth is an ongoing process. It does not happen in one time. There's not one training, one workshop, one course that is going to fast track you as a leader. I do not believe that. I believe that growth and learning happens over time, okay? And we know this from human development. We learn through practice. That is how we learn as human beings. We learn by doing something over and over and over again, by watching other people do something over and over and over again, and then reflecting on that practice, right? Even subconsciously kind of reflecting and making meaning on that practice. But certainly if we can do it explicitly, that makes our learning even more powerful and even more rooted in our being. So if you want to learn as a leader, you have to know this is not a speed race. We are not racing to see who can be the best leader or the most effective leader, right? The most efficient leader. It is not a race. If you really are driven to be a high quality leader, a leader that leads with compassion and care and connection, these things happen over time. This is a journey. It's not just about efficiency, effectiveness, getting there and getting it done. And yes, we want to get things done. Again, I believe if you are a leader who is engaged in meaningful reflection, you are going to get quality work done. It's going to be beautiful, especially if you are an impact-driven leader, you're in the social impact sector, you actually care about the work that you're doing. You being productive and taking action, I'm not even concerned about that. You're going to do that. I believe in you that you will take the action, okay? What I want is to make sure that alongside that action that you're also engaged in reflection. So one of the things that I have seen with the focus on productivity and outcomes is that oftentimes we see things like evaluation, we see things like reflection, we see things like healing work and wellness work kind of put on the periphery of the other work, right? So we see, okay, we have our action steps, we have the things that lead to outcomes more directly, and we center that and we spend the bulk of our time on that. And if we have extra time at the end of the week, we might do some reflection, right? Or maybe we might take a couple of days out of the year and set them aside for some reflection or some trainings. But it's not really built into our practice and our culture as leaders and as organizations. And so really what I'm challenging you all and inviting you all to do, if you don't already do it, is to build in reflection into your daily and routine practice as a leader and as an organization. Okay, so what are some of the ways that we can actually build in reflection into our work, either on a daily or a weekly basis, right? I really wouldn't recommend less than every other week building in reflection into your work, but how can we do this? So the easiest way, and I think it's really fun, is journaling, right? You can literally handwrite your journal. You can just take notes on your phone. You can take audio notes if you would like, or you can journal on digitally as well, right? But either on a daily or a weekly basis, taking the time to journal. And it doesn't have to be any specific prompts even. It could just be reflecting on your experiences, right? This week, this thing happened and this is how I felt about it, right? This week I said these things and it felt this way. This week I received feedback from a peer and it made me feel this way, or it made me think about another experience, right? Anything, whatever comes to the top of your mind, it's important again to reflect and to make meaning, and then to ask yourself questions. Whatever comes up organically, just engaging in this journaling practice is going to help you grow. It is inevitable. If you are reflecting, you will grow. Another way that you can foster reflection in your work as a leader is through reading, right? Read books that spark your imagination, that inspire you to think critically and to think in new and flexible ways. Read ideas from different perspectives, right? That help you, again, think about, what do I do as a leader? What do I say as a leader? What are my practices? What are our cultures and routines as an organization? A part of the model for Dancing the Daily is not just isolated growth or isolated learning, but really to learn in community. So I encourage you to engage your peers in your learning process as a leader. So yes, having that one-on-one journaling time is so incredibly important, but also get your team involved, get your community involved, get your peers involved. Maybe there's a way, if you already have a weekly team meeting, for example, or a monthly team meeting, carve reflection time into that meeting. Don't only talk about next steps and action plans, right? Or what you accomplished last month. Take 5 minutes and have a journaling prompt during that meeting, right? Even that will encourage everyone to have a culture of reflection in your organization. Lastly, but certainly not least, I encourage you to work with a mentor or a coach, right? Reach out to a mentor. This does not have to be someone that you pay. I had so many elders in my life as I was starting my nonprofit early childhood program in Nashville, okay? I had many, literally 4 or 5 older Black women who I could reach out to, and I would call, I would go have coffee with them, I would take them to lunch and just talk to them and listen to them, and they would ask me questions about my work. That was so important to help me, again, reflect on the work I was doing as a leader. But I had, even outside of those 4 older women, I had peers, I had folks from different cultural backgrounds who I could really, again, engage in meaningful and reflective dialogue around my practice as a leader. So I think it's very important that you reach out to mentors. Everybody should have at least 2 mentors, not just one, but make sure you have mentors in your life, and then you support them and they support you, right? And it doesn't have to be about a money exchange. It can be a money exchange, but there are so many people who want to pour into you, and there are ways that you can pour into them, right? And in addition to having a mentor, I also encourage you to hire a coach, right? And so there are amazing executive coaches in compassionate leadership, all sorts of coaches, life coaches, transformation coaches, right? You know yourself, you know your needs, you know what you're interested in learning and how you're interested in growing. Work with a coach, again, who can help you reflect on who you are, how you're showing up as a leader, and then can help you grow. And if anything, having a coach is just a way to carve out that time for reflection. Some people are not going to journal in their own time. Some people don't like journaling, right? But maybe if you know, okay, once a month I meet with that coach, then you know that at least once a month you're gonna have some time for reflection. So that's a way to hold yourself accountable as well. And in addition to all of those beautiful ideas, I invite you to engage with Dancing in the Daily. I created Dancing in the Daily to help leaders reflect critically on their practice. I created specifically a model of leadership circles. So I believe that we heal and we grow most effectively in community, by reflecting with each other, by listening to each other, learning with and from each other. And so leadership circles are a way. It's a 6-month process where you come together in a community of leaders and you all engage in reflection together twice a month or once a month, but in a regular routine, growing and transforming throughout that process. Leadership circles are something that we can bring to your organization. So if you are a school system, if you are a nonprofit, if you are a government agency, if you are a social impact business, right? We are designed for you. Our leadership circles are designed for change makers and transformative leaders, and we are so excited about supporting your reflection in your leadership journey. Thank you so much, and I am sending you so much love as you keep on doing the powerful work in the world. We need you. Keep going, keep going.